outer gate. Why do we want two gates?
Because one to enter, one to go.
No. It's like a trap inside.
First of all, it's a trap.
Commercial, one commercial,
And
right?
the other reason is a
It's
commercial
commercial.
reason. I want the commerce to take place in the safety of the city, but not in the city center, because not everyone, I don't want everyone inside, but I do want the space for commerce, and this is the market at the city gate. And also, if an enemy breaks in, it's a trap, because from all directions I have my posts and archers and shooting into this inner space. So right after the outer gate that we just walked into, and then we get to the inner gate, that's right there, which will be, but you'll recognize it a lot more as a biblical chamber gate. Here you see it a lot less. We've seen this in Dan. In Dan, remember there were actually 3 gates. We've seen this in Beersheba, in Chatzor. This is how they build things. This is how it's done, and we'll see it similar enough in Megiddo as well.
I can understand the walls and the gates here. We have 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so one moment. The wall goes parallel to the walkway we came in. And this is the outer gate, with a tower jutting out protecting it. And then there's a bend, and we get to the inner gate with its portion of fortification walls to the right, and a little bit to the left and to the right. You see a lot less.
The level of the city
Is right there.
number 3 layers, right?
Layer 3 and layer 2, they're almost identical.
Inside.
This will be the inner part of the city. In front of you, this funny fingerish mound with weeds, dry weeds on it. Right? You see that thing jutting out? And above it, a wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so Starkey's expedition digging had loads of dirt. So they brought them there and just poured them down and formed that mound. Doing that, they also covered up a portion of the Bronze Age finds that were just below the city, including a Canaanite temple that was actually mostly covered up. You can't see it anymore.
That's important.
It's right down there.
For them. It's not important.
I'll just say it's funny how they left these scars, really, a mound that
They could throw it anywhere.
they left behind. Today in excavation they try not to leave these outcrops. So yeah, it was almost all done by hand. So this
covers a
it partly covers a temple from the late Bronze Age that's into the bottom of this hill. Yeah.
Would you say that this one as well? These outcrops over here would be
So part of them are removal of dirt, but that's a huge amount of dirt that really became a separate little hill. So that's what we can see from here. And I'm taking advantage of the shade and breeze here for this room where David is resting in the shade. And you can see there's a big painting there. But before we get to that painting, and I'll just show you a picture because it's better than moving around, we have here a few finds in that room that are very interesting. That's from Lakish level 2. Again, from the end of the First Temple period towards 587 or 588 BCE, as the Babylonians are attacking this land. And there they found a small archive with many interesting finds, including several potsherds that were actually ostraka, as they're known, where that people wrote their notes on pottery, and usually after that they copied it on papyrus or something else and sent it. So this was their
scrap paper?
some type of scrap paper.
Khartoush, we call it.
Okay, so here you have a picture of the same one that's over there. Here it's much closer to the real size. And they found many of these letters. They're known as the letters of Lakish. This was found by Starkey already in the 1930s. And here we have a few interesting ones. For example, in number 3, we have someone complaining about what the governor did. And then there he vows. And when he vows, they vow with the name of God. So they write it, Chai Hashem, in the life of. God,
the sake of God.
The sake of, that's the way they actually vow in those days. And this specific one, which is number 4, has an inscription that at its end, it's written on one side, and on the other side, they continue up to here. You can see the scrap paper wasn't enough on one side, so they used most of it. And the other side, and there we are, and there towards the end, he says that they're waiting for something, and there we are told that we know that we are watching for something of Lakish. We're waiting for apparently a signal from Lakish telling them that the that they are okay, that they're under siege or attack, but every night they put up some fire signal to tell everyone nearby, we're still holding ground. Keep your courage, keep on going.
Motivate them.
And then he says, because we don't see Azekaz anymore. So when the Babylonians were attacking, they were attacking Azekah. The question is, how is it written in Hebrew? Ki lo nir'eh et Azekah. We don't see Azekah. But it can also be read, Ki lo nir'eh ot Azekah. We can't see the signal of Azekah. The question is what type of vowels you use to actually understand the words. And there are two different ways of explaining it. Can we directly see Azekah? No. We'll give it a try when we'll be at the top. Okay. But you already know the answer. You all said it. And apparently the fire signals or smoke signals are actually what they're looking for. And this takes me to Jeremiah 34. And if you don't remember it when we'll be at the top, it's just written there on the sign. In Jeremiah 34, he describes how the cities of Judah are under Babylonian siege. And the only cities remaining are Lachish and Azekah. So this was written a moment later, when Azekah was already captured, and now only Lachish remained, and then it will be captured, and the Babylonians will focus on Jerusalem and destroy it the next year. So what we actually have here is the sequence of the attack, also attested in the book of Jeremiah from the days, but also in these written finds that tell us of the siege, the Babylonian besieging one after the other all these cities in this area.
So it says that we're waiting for Lachish, or in Lachish.
Ooh. So what does that mean? That whoever wrote this wasn't here at the moment he wrote it, and when he evacuated from wherever he was, he deposited it at the gate, and then the city was also.
Which means he could have seen Azekah.
We don't know where he came from.
But if he says, like, we can't see Azekah, it could be that
Okay.
normally he could.
The other way of understanding it is that we are the guardians of Lachish, and therefore every night we put up our smoke signals, our fire signals, and we're waiting to see if Azekah is still doing the same. So the question is he in a third location looking at both of them, or is he the guardian from here doing it? Again, two different theories of
If you've got an extremely higher tower, is it going to make a difference for sighting?
That could be, but hard to believe there was an extremely higher tower than 2 stories higher than what we have here. Okay, so I jumped again. Notice we were in Lachish 3, Hezekiah's days, and Lachish 2, the days of the destruction, and it's a little bit difficult. We're going to be jumping a little bit between them because they're almost in the same level.
3 and 2, what?
3 is Hezekiah against Sennacherib, the Assyrians, and 2 is Siddekiah. I know the names are almost the same. Siddekiah, Tzidkiyahu in Hebrew, the last king of Judah,
Babylonian.
against the Babylonians.